Okay. Good afternoon, all of you. I think after this very interesting lecture, I was very impressed by this lecture, both the lectures, in fact, and learned a lot of things. I'm going to speak about something which is more of a general talk. First of all, let me thank Professor uh, Hogan Basumatari, my dear friend, and all the organizers for inviting me here for this very interesting conference. So I am going to speak about some regulations which govern Ayurveda food, or which we call as Ayurvedic Ahar. So I will be trying to be very brief, and I request both the chairmen sir to stop me by 10 minutes. I know because there are a lot of backlog over there. A little bit uncomfortable presenting the lecture like this. Anyway, uh, I thank the uh, announcer for introducing me to all of you. So these are things I can avoid because you are more aware about it than me. So it's very important. But then uh, my earlier speaker spoke about two things from which I would like to pick up. One is food medicine. Another thing he spoke about is about avoiding dhatu. But there are different schools in Ayurveda, as I know. Some are proponents of using metals. But these are actually some of the things which are also causing certain problems. So he gave one example of that dose of 40 tablets which you need to eat like food, right? But that's a different matter altogether. But we know that food influences us in many ways, our health, both physical and mental. So these are things all known to you. So, uh, but when you go to the market, these are some of the things not only found in pharmacies. You also get in grocery shops or superstores, and I don't need to uh, introduce you all to all of these. The only concern about these food are that some of them may be having very high sugar content, may not be good for diabetic patients, uh, but the claim is otherwise. Some of them maybe not having, not produced under GMP, good manufacturing practices. So several such issues have been, inflicting the Ayurveda industry. Now, this is one study published recently, but conducted a little bit earlier, particularly when many such studies are there, but this is one I picked up. So, from the food regulatory point of view, you can see that many of these products are having, non-compliance when it comes to labeling. Here, 61% of the products had at least one labeling violation. Then they are missing non-compliant legal disclaimers. That's a statistics is very high, 1/3. Then improper supplement facts, 29%. Then whatever they are claiming are actually, not true. So they found out that average of 5 per product. So these all kind of things have huge implications for public health. There will be health risks, no doubt, if these things are not followed seriously. So there is a need for regulatory action, and this has been highlighted by many regulatory bodies as well as the public, and even the physician community has been highlighting some of these. So the history of Ayurveda is all known to you, but I would like to highlight one important development point, that is the year 2014, when the Ministry of Ayush, makes a mark and a strategic effort to promote Ayurveda globally. So it's an important landmark in our thousands plus years of history of providing medicine through traditional, healing practices, which is of course very, very formalized for long. Now, when we want to go global, it's not that easy because there are global regulatory, not global regulatory bodies. Every nation has their own regulatory bodies, and our products has to comply to that. So I work with FSSI in two of the panel members committees. One is on nutrition. Another is on vegan, and also we come across many of the cases cross-referred to us from the Ayurveda panel. So there have been actually a lot of ambiguities prior to 2022, and this 2022 after 2014 is another landmark area. So to cut it short, before that, actually, there are two regulatory bodies which has been controlling these Ayurvedic products. One is the Ministry of Ayush, another is the FSSI, right? FSSI broadly looks into all different kinds of food products. But since many of the products of Ayurveda are being classified as food by many of the organizations worldwide, FSSI also look into it. Then to remove all these, and many a time both the ministry had actually a lot of fight because, you know, their whole perception is altogether different. But then the government decided to constitute interministerial committee. So this is a result in 2022, food safety and standards of Ayurveda Ahara was developed. So this is just recent development, 2022, and now this has been able to clarify compliance requirements and with the approved coordination between the two ministries, which was always in conflict with one another. So this is one important event in the development of Ayurvedic food. I think this will also going to be part of the textbook, and maybe all those who are teaching in advanced level have already included this. So these particular regulations developed in 2022 create a legal framework that would improve consumer safety and then product quality. So, you know, when you comply GMP and other safety standards, the quality will increase the industry's transparency, fostering trust, and promoting adherence to the traditional Ayurvedic practices. That is most important, because once you codify them, there will be no any much variations, because the standards, guidelines need to be developed and put somewhere so everybody can assess, right? But anyway, of course, customizations will be there, as in some of the slides I will be telling you. So once you're able to do this, that global competitiveness, the global acceptance, the credibility will actually increase. So it is going to help the industry rather. So these are some of the definitions. If you go into the Act in 2022, so this definition is actually very strict, but I simplified it. This Ayurveda Ahara refers to food prepared according to Ayurvedic methods and ingredients listed in authoritative text. This is very, very important, the authoritative text, including those with additional botanical ingredients and aligned with Ayurvedic principles. That is important. I mean, somebody may have those additional things, but it has to align with Ayurvedic principles. So Ayurveda is always in the focus, right? But it doesn't include other things like, you know, proprietary medicines, cosmetics, narcotics. These things are not there. So it's not about the medicinal part we are dealing over here. It is absolutely about the food part that we are developing. And adherence to these actually are going to give us a lot of competitive advantages. But for that, there are certain schedules. The food under Ayurveda has been classified into different types, category A, B, and then B1 and B2. So category A is strictly the food which has been prepared in accordance with the authoritative texts. So in category B, there is some kind of innovativeness if you look into it. A new recipe of Ayurveda Ahara using ingredients listed in the authoritative Ayurveda text in books listed in A, Schedule A, along with other botanicals used in Ayurveda dietetic principles, and these are all listed. But anyway, all these needs to be produced under GMP. And number category B, in addition to that, you need safety data. So that's very, very important. So these are some of the things I believe the new generation of people will be benefited. So these authoritative text, very, very important when it comes to Ayurveda Ahara, because the whole regulation is based on the concept of that. And there are as many as 71 authoritative books listed in this schedule, in this act. So there may be revisions in future. You are all experts, you know about all these books, so I'm not going to tell you. For me, it's a number. So I'm telling you currently, as of now, 71 authoritative books are there. So, and they may be having so many different kind of recipes. So even if we think of new startups, new companies, young, you know, Ayurvedic experts, doctors are having a lot of opportunities in future, digging into this gold mine, right? And there are other things which are very, very important. Schedule A and B, as I already told you. Schedule D is something of modern approach, which speaks about microbiological safety standards, because some of the food which are prepared may not be sterile. They may contain some kind of microbial load. If they are beneficial microbes, then it's fine. It adds to our gut health. But if it is having, some kind of a pathogen, so that may actually be detrimental to the popularization, particularly, selling it in the world stage. So apart from these schedule A, B, C, ABD, there is a schedule C, which gives you an idea what are the additives that you can add. These are all now, codified and part of the act. You cannot add anything other than this listed over here. So you can use certain thickeners, stabilizers, which are there. They are all taken from the authoritative books. You can use colors, which are listed over here, not artificial colors. You can take certain acidity regulators, and then you can take certain preservatives and flavoring agents, and then also you can take some acidity regulator, and also certain antioxidants. So hello, ये भैया ये कुछ आ गया. हेलो ऑपरेटर भैया, इसको ओके करना पड़ेगा. Yeah, so he is getting bored, so listening to some music. So I asked Chairman to give me additional 1 minute. Anyway, I'm coming to the end. So what I want to tell that these regulatory act that has been passed in 2022, please go through it. For shortage of time, I'm unable to explain to you in full detail. But everything has been specified, and if you want to prepare a Ayurveda Ahara, you have to actually follow that act. And if you do that, you have a lot of advantage, because your product will be passed very, very smoothly. So different countries have different set of regulations. I'm not going to details of these, but what important is that in certain cases you may not require pre-market approval, but then leveling and safety are very, very important, and what you claim should be very, very honest. You should not actually claim, superfluous things, and all the time adhering to good manufacturing practices are very, very important. And good manufacturing practices itself is a long lecture. I am avoiding myself from going into that trap. So European Union also has certain regulations, not one single one, many types, like food supplement directive they have, novel food regulation they have, health claim regulation they have. So you can find out some of the guidelines over there, how to go about, manufacturing Ayurvedic Ahara. So when it comes to traditional Chinese medicine and Ayurveda, there are a lot of similarities. So, and also other countries like Japan, Korea, Oriental countries, they are also now trying to incorporate these herbal foods, but they have less formal regulation. It is good that our country has some regulation in place now, although it is very, very new, but it is gaining steam and popularity. So if you actually go into comparing the regulatory scenario in China and India, say whether it is regulatory recognition or the list of approved ingredients and the health claims and leveling and safety and quality standards, you will find a lot of similarities in both the two cases. I'm not going into the details of this, but the only essence what I want to leave behind is that China has actually led us in this matter, and we are actually following, and these are going to help us compete in the global, market. So enhancing the consumer trust and the product safety is the number one thing that should be always there in the mind of manufacturers. And these transparency in labeling, as I already told you, is very, very important. But how do you get assured that this product is being examined by the regulatory body and this has been passed on? So in the case of a vegetarian food, you have a green dot, and then you have a red dot in the case of a non-veg food item. And for the vegan also, now one symbol has been developed by FSSI. So people who do not take any animal origin food at all, like milk, curd, for them also that symbol is now separately developed. So for Ayurveda, this is the logo. As you can see, I think it is not working over here, that official logo. So this gives the customer the trust and, the confidence. Okay, this is actually tested, and then this has been under the regulation. So this is the Ayurveda logo, which was launched recently. So that's very, very important. And then this all helps in different ways. For example, people will immediately know this is under regulation, and the consumer demand and alignment will be there, and branding and market penetration will be very, very, much facilitated as a result of this. So many people, in fact, are actually looking into this in a negative way. They think, regulation is not good. But then actually regulation has helped us in resolving many things. For example, the conflict between the two ministries is no longer there. And whatever little conflicts are, from case to case basis, things keep on arising. But there is inter-ministerial committee, and they keep on resolving all these kinds of issues because this is a new act and things are still under evolution, and it is getting developed each and every day. Okay, with this, I come to the end of my lecture. Thank you for your present hearing. And if there is any small, short question, I would be very happy to attempt to answer. Yeah.
So, thank you, sir, for a very short but informative sharing of your experience and knowledge on the regulation, especially which must be known by each and every new Ayurvedians, because they have to establish new setups and to work with the Ayurvedic Ahara. Especially, there are huge scope. It is identified and declared already, I think. So, I think time is, we are running behind time. So, I think Sir will be available for you all at any time. So, you can contact with Sir, and anything if you have, you can mail to Sir. I request Sir will definitely respond to your queries, which will be sent through email, and even you will be able to contact with WhatsApp. So I think we shall not go to the questions here. So I want to request to proceed in the session. Proceed, please.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable lecture. I would like to felicitate, we would like to request Dr. Muralikrishnan, sir, to felicitate Dr. Bora, sir. Dr. Vishwajit Das, sir, will felicitate, sir, with a Fulam Gamusa. Thank you, sir. I request Dr. Muralikrishnan, sir, to felicitate, sir, with a memento, which is a representative of Gaur, the Assam Rhino. Thank you. Thank you, sir.